What's the easiest way to get paid for online lessons? I would actually like to rephrase that popular question because we get that question a lot of times in the group, and I would like to ask instead, what's the easiest way for my prospective customers to pay me? Because it's all about them. You want to make things as convenient as possible for your prospective customers, your prospects. It's not just all about you, it's really all about them. But ideally, we want it to work well for both parties, right? Now, it is possible you can set up a simple Payoneer, Wise account, World Remit, and you can accept payment that way. All right. However, just now you can only integrate Payoneer into your website. Um, there's other solutions such as Payment Wall. We're going to see more about Payment Wall in the upcoming part of this video. There's PayPal, there's Stripe. There's many different payment systems that you can go with. But I think the most important thing is to not only have a website, but a shopping cart, WooCommerce, if you're doing WordPress, within your site that's integrated with Payoneer, PayPal, Stripe, because then people can just go to a page such as mine right here. This is my shop page where they can see the different packages. Let it be known they get a special discount if they order within 24 hours after the demo class ends. And it's very swift, it's simple, it's easy to use, and it takes them from 1, 2, 3 to PayPal, or in my case, Payment Wall. It really needs to be integrated, your payment system, into your website. That's really how you're going to make things as easy and convenient as possible for your prospective customers. And of course, you can invoice them. But I prefer to invoice after they've already purchased the first time, which is the hardest sale. And then it's as simple as issuing them an invoice through email, and then the ball's in their court. How can I accept online payments from China? Well, I will let you know that I would say the minority of Chinese who take online English lessons with freelancers are able to use PayPal. They are able to send payments through PayPal your way. Okay. Sometimes they just need a little bit of hand holding in order to get that sorted and get on board with that. However, you're best to offer WeChat Pay, Alipay, Union Pay. This is a look at my shopping cart. Let's say if somebody wants to go with the most popular gold package, add to cart. I'll just get to the checkout page right now. I go with Payment Wall. It works for me. And yes, I'm able to accept Alipay, Union Pay, WeChat Pay, and many more methods of payment. And even if I didn't have a WeChat account, a wallet through WeChat, of course, because I don't have an account, hypothetically speaking, um, it goes through them, the third party. So I'm still able to accept WeChat Pay, right? Because that's going through Payment Wall. And then, of course, Payment Wall pays me out to my PayPal or bank account. Um, Anyhow, if we go to the checkout right now on my website, KitCan Talk, yeah, you can see right here that people have the option to use their credit card, PayPal, Alipay, Union Pay, WeChat Pay, and once again, I'm trying to make things as easy as possible, as convenient as possible for my prospective customer. And once somebody buys the first time, which is the all important sale, renewals generally come easily because my level of servicing is quite high and it's no problem invoicing them. However, I still have a few clients in China who pay me through PayPal. So never be afraid to ask. And hey, can I help? Get you set up with PayPal because I think it's going to be the easiest way for you to pay, and of course, it's going to be easiest for you. But yeah, ideally, you want to be able to accept at least Union Pay, Alipay, if you're going to be accepting payments from China through your website. And yeah, that's the long and short of it. Should I offer some form of sales support? Okay, when you're on some other website and you see the chat function, you can chat with an operator, and you hope it's not a bot. Nobody wants to speak to somebody who isn't a human. However, sometimes that's annoyingly the case. But yes, there's chat feature, there's email support, better yet, a toll free number where you can call for free and get the answers to your questions so you feel more confident in terms of buying. Like for myself and my company, I have a business associate in Beijing, um, and it's worked out quite well because I get to use his Chinese phone number, Dicao Leo. And the thing is, before I targeted more Chinese, now I'm targeting more Taiwanese, for instance. Yet when it comes to the Chinese in particular, they really like reaching out and getting on the phone with somebody who's from the company because their trust factor is very low, and they have worries in terms of different aspects of buying into the service, and they want to know that customer service is really good. And most will phone initially, otherwise they won't buy. So for me, I had Dicao Leo take sales calls as the representative, and I would only pay him if somebody buys, right, and he helped to close the deal. So without him, I probably wouldn't have got the deal. So I pay him out 15% on the initial order, not recurring orders. If you can find somebody in China, if you're targeting the Chinese, somebody in Taiwan, if you're targeting the Taiwanese, they will know that that person has a local number. They'll feel more comfortable because of that, and they'll have a local talking um, to them in their mother tongue. So I definitely think it's worthwhile. Sometimes it's not too practical. It's hard to get a deal going with a local such as that who's also experienced in sales and understands our industry, understands your business, and maybe they want a regular monthly payment. I remember I consulted with this one um, you know inbound call company where they take calls for businesses. It's in China, but their minimum payment was 700 US a month, and you have to pay right away. There's no way I'm going to do that as a new company. So it worked out great with the Kyle Leo because we worked out a deal where he could take calls, and I only need to pay him if somebody converts into a customer, and only on the initial deal, 15% of the total price of the package they buy. It worked out really well. So you can get something like that going on. You can get a toll free number. All right. I wouldn't put your local number. You can have a toll free number. They're pretty cheap. Basically, go through to your local number, right? So you could just transfer the call. People can call for free. Toll free number looks more professional, right? And then it just gets transferred to your local number, and you can take the call. What I've found in the past, over the years, if somebody wants to become a customer and they just really can't speak good enough English, and I don't know how to speak their language, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work out too well. There's just going to be a problem when it comes to communication, understanding things. So you do want to know that your customers can, at least write well enough in English. It just makes the whole thing easier, makes your life easier, and the small business that you want to build, it shouldn't be that difficult to get a handful of clients that can speak English well enough, or at least type it well enough, understand you well enough, and they can talk with you after phoning your toll-free number. It's definitely worth the money. Um, Definitely better than just supplying an email address that they can get back to. But yes, if you can work out a deal with an agent where they can take calls on your behalf, do it. as I just talked about previously. A chat box, I don't think it's really necessary, more for larger companies. Yeah, and there's my take on that. What is the most effective way to handle renewals? Well, I've had customers go back through my shopping cart doing exactly the same thing they did previously the first time they bought, and they just go with the same package. What I've learned from my time in the sun doing this business since 2017 is the fact that people are very habitual. Like if they went for my gold package in the beginning, they're most likely just going to keep doing the same thing. They're just going to keep paying the same amount. Um, so yes, people are very habitual. Don't expect them to buy 18 lessons and then the next time they buy only go for a package of 12 and then they change their mind again and do something different. And of course, each package pegs you at a different rate per hour. People, generally are very consistent when it comes to what they buy. And I prefer invoicing. Most of my clients I invoice because then the ball's in their court. And all you need to do is say, check your email, look out for the invoice. I always bill after the last paid lesson has been used. And then they know to check their email for the invoice. There's no scary surprises. It's the same price that they paid before. Um, One thing I don't agree with, especially with this type of business, is increasing the rates, right? If somebody starts off paying $300 for a package of 12 and then say they renew twice and then you inform them, oh, the rate's gone up to 350, I just don't think it's a good thing to do, especially in the servicing business. Like we're just dealing with your time here, and I'm sure your expenses aren't going up that much. So I normally just advise teachers to cough it up, coaches to cough it up. Granted, you might not make the same profit as you will from people new who are coming in, but I just don't think it's a good practice to take chances when it comes to pissing off your clients. You need to honor them for sticking with you. And yes, they're getting a lot of value out of it through your lessons, through your coaching, whatever it is. You bet. They're paying you money and you are giving them a service, ideally providing more value than what they're paying you for, where they should be paying you more. If anything, bring down your price a little bit if needed. Perhaps they won't need as many lessons because they don't need to see you as often once their level of English reaches a certain point. I don't know. But I always say don't increase the amount that people are paying. If anything, decrease it, but not by much, and always give a reason as to why you're doing that. Hey, you've come so far. Your level of English is much better now. Would you mind creating a video testimonial, which will help this division of my company or, my company in general? And I tell you what, I'll give you a 10% rate reduction, right? Each time you order. Find a reason. Like they help you, you help them. But I wouldn't put up the rate. I would just bring it down a bit. And I think invoicing is the way to go. Invoicing through PayPal, Stripe, Payment Wall. You got it. What is the winning mindset of the teacherpreneur in this regard, and what have they done? Well, here you can see one of my other clients, Vicky Nash of Class by Nash, and she's got WordPress. This looks similar to my shopping cart, but it's different prices, different information, but very similar. WooCommerce, in terms of the way it works, is very similar on all websites. Um, so you have the shop page right here, and this is important because this is where people select what option they want. Let's say they want to go for silver. Okay, add to cart. It's a really simple process, and it needs to be. You can't make it confusing for people. The easier, the better. And this is the all important time when you're going for the sale. And this most likely is the first time they ever bought because you're not invoicing them and they're going through your website. View cart. Now, I know Vicky has a coupon code. If she needs to give an extra 5% off, they're already getting 15% off if they order within 24 hours after the end of the demo class. But if she wants to give a coupon for another 5% off, then she can do that. I forget what the code is, but that's where they would enter it, apply coupon, proceed to checkout. So we're on to the checkout page now. And one thing I don't like is when there's a lot of unnecessary fields. Like, do you really need to know um, where they live in terms of the city and the address and the postal code? Do you need their phone number? Um, don't ask them to fill out any fields that they don't really need to fill out because you don't need the information. The quicker the better. That's why we're just going for first name, last name, email address, additional information. We allow room for that, and we use PayPal. And 9 out of 10 customers of hers can pay through PayPal. All right. However, she's talking to them on WeChat or Line, WhatsApp, and she can also invoice them. Okay, so that's another option. She can take, I believe, World Remit, and yeah, there's so many options if people can't use PayPal anyhow. And there's even third parties out there that earn money by allowing teachers to use their payment system, right? And you have to pay them a fee for that, so you're paying a little more than you normally would spend. But this is what Teacher Nash has done, and it works well for her. I believe she's invoicing most of her renewals. She's almost 100% private now. Next, we're going to set up her Facebook ads campaigns so she can have more traffic going through, booking demos and buying, so that she can have her first contractor come on board. But PayPal really gets the job done. Um, if you target people in China, it's getting more difficult. I wouldn't recommend it. However, there are other companies like Nihao Pay and more, um, Payment Wall, where it's easier for Chinese to purchase using Alipay, Union Pay, WeChat Pay. So there's lots of information also in our group about this. Um, all you got to do is run a quick search, payment systems, accept payment from China, and not just my group, but other people's groups. And you're only one search away on Google from finding different solutions that are China friendly. But if you're targeting outside of China, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, wherever it is, most people aren't going to have a problem using PayPal. And if somebody does, then there's always a workaround. Like, I've heard of people even just having a friend, for instance, in China, accept the payment on behalf of the company, and then of course, PayPaling that money to the company, and they take a little commission. So where there's a will, there's a way. However, you're always best to have WooCommerce along with PayPal or Payoneer, Stripe integrated into your website just to make things as easy as possible for those who want to buy from you. Because if it gets too complicated, they may go to a competitor. They may just forget about it for a while and you never hear from them again. So you need to make the sales process as quick, easy, and convenient as possible for your prospective customer. Okay? They come first. They always come first.